pure.
Let's talk about the regional expansion for a start. You have said you're opening 6 new branches. Where will these be?
Now, the growth in Uchumi is to get where the customers are. We have the Eastern African region, that is Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And that is our main area of concentration.
Yes.
As you know, retail supermarket is not very well developed. So we are going into green fields to make sure we reach the customers. Yeah.
You've said before your business is not brick and mortar, so you don't build any buildings.
We don't even expand, instead we grow. Interesting, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
So you have branches in Kenya, most of your branches are in Kenya and Uganda, Tanzania, and where else are you looking to go, and what are the rationales for these new markets?
We will be able to do that in 2-3 months' time. The board is going to meet and will give us the feel as to how much they will be ready to give us to get into the Eastern African region, other countries outside the 3 countries.
What is the potential in these places? Is that middle class strong enough for a retailer like yourself?
Let me tell you, with the current style of living in virtually almost everywhere in the world, very few people would depend on land like we used to in the past. So we have the urban population are more than we ever had before. And the other question here is, if you don't have the money, then you may not be able to live, because you are no longer going to till in the land. You're not going to look after cattle.
Yes.
And that is the potential of the retail sector.
What percentage of your revenues will not be coming from Kenya, and, according to your projections, and in how long?
I would want to talk in the positive. It is not what revenue not be coming from Kenya.
Yes.
What do we expect from every sector within the political or geographical regions. Now,
Excellent.
Within the country, that is our mother starting section. In Uganda, we'll be having close, by the end of the current financial year, July to June next year, we are going to have approximately 7-8 branches. Then if you take that out of 30 that is expected,
right,
then we are looking at, in terms of 30-40% of our income should be from that region. In Tanzania, it is still very young, very green. We have only 1 hyper. And the anticipated opening of branches, so we do not count how much is going to come from Tanzania. It is still on what you call on the cradle. So if we get out, we'll be able to pick up somewhere else.
You have projected an increase in your revenues of about 1/3 to hit 16 billion shillings. Give us a rationale for that, or how did you arrive at that?
Now, we do quite a thorough kind of analysis of our retail sector positioning in terms of wherever we are going anew. And each and every branch has got its own contribution into the group. So that's how we look at it. We do not, again, the other one, of course, is looking at the Eastern African region. We are going through what you call good GDP growth.
Right.
And that good GDP growth, there isn't a country in which we are in that is growing in less than 5 to 6%. So if that is the case, then we have the population growing as well. You do the multiplying factor of the two. And of course, the growth, the untapped area of the retail, that gives you that growth from about 13 billion to 16 billion. It is that we expect incidentally to have even more than 16, because quite a number of our branches that we have opened already are going into maturity. Yeah.
It's 6 years since Uchumi Supermarkets reopened. It was a sad story when you came into the transformation success story it is today. What has that journey been like, and where are you heading?
Let me put it this way. I like talking in military terms. When you get into the field, you never go into the field to come out unscathed. And the unscathing that you're talking about in business is uncertainty and risk. We went into risk and uncertainty of opening from unknown to unknown, because virtually Uchumi was closed.
Yes.
And among the challenges that we had, of course, is trying to build up our own new culture and attitude, trying to build our leadership, and ensuring our strategy that is crafted is actually executed. That is what I would call the challenge. The next one, of course, is the trust. A company coming from dust and coming back and trying to woo the respective stakeholders. That was the challenge, but it appeared like the persuasion that we put into the field actually gave us what we were looking for.
There's speculation that with the turnaround of your fortunes, you will be declaring a dividend. Can you set that straight for us?
I would want to evade the question, because I'm already at a CMA and NSC,
yes,
and if I was not listed, I would actually talk.
Sure.
But then I have to wait for the board to go through the accounts, and we go through what you call the processes that would not be seen to be precipitating the movement of my shares in the market. Yeah.
Fair enough, I respect that. The competitive environment in this market and then indeed around the region where you're now playing is very competitive. We have retailers like Nakumatt, though not listed, very aggressive in these markets. What do you feel of the competitive environment?
I actually say I've been brought up in business through in the competitive climate. I love competition because then complacency doesn't come in. On the other hand, in Uchumi, we don't look at the competition. We chase the customer. If you can drink your water upstream, you don't have to worry about the polluted. And that's the analogy I use.
Yes.
So we are going for the customers. Essentially, in fact, I would tell you I have no feel of what strategies my competitors have, but I know the strategy that I need to reach where I'm going.
You like to use the tagline, Uchumi as a home of value. Is the East African consumer very price sensitive, or what do you feel sets this brand apart from the others?
I would want to correct the concept that customer is looking for the low value,
Yes.
the low price. Home of value is more than just a price. Home of value is where you get what you'd call the wowing customer service. Home of value is where you have the partnerships, you have the alliance. Those are the kind of, the home of value is where you actually generate entrepreneurship to the people who are around you and promoting entrepreneurs into that. That is what home of value. Now, the issue of sensitive, of course, we have certain basic foods. And those certain basic foods, we have prescribed ourselves the kind of margin we are looking for, and that is available. Even if there is a shortage of a certain product, it has never been our temptation to think that we can exploit that situation, because we will never want to betray the trust that we have with our customers.
All right.
I think that's how I'd want to put it. Yeah.
In very few seconds, what are your projections for Uchumi going forward?
The projection of Uchumi going forward, we have already finished our first phase. We are touching on the second phase, and we have the third phase years to go. And my hope is that within the perimeters of where we are working, we should be able to see Uchumi double or triple within the next 5 years. I don't foresee anything that will stop us, because all what you're looking for are the developers of the retail sites, and then we'll be there with our expertise.
All the best with that. Jonathan Ciano, Managing Director of Uchumi Supermarkets. Always great having you on the program.